Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. It has been very, very long indeed. Too long, in fact. Today, we're going to be doing a review of this 2003 Toyota Camry LE. So, we'll start on the exterior features, we'll move to the interior, we'll talk about the engine, and what it's probably worth right about now. First up, we have the brakes. So, we have disc brakes in the front. In the rear, ours has front brakes. I have seen some disc brakes. I don't know if that's like a newer thing or a higher trim, but the LE front discs, rear drum brakes. These wheels right here, they're about the same color as this silver right here, and I think it actually has a nice touch, but on the other colors, the wheels look a little bit pathetic. You have all your badging, Toyota badging, lots of chrome, Toyota badge, Camry LE badge, body color mirrors. We have this little pinstripe thing with the Toyota emblem right there. Halogen front headlights. This one does not have the fog lights, but there are some with fog lights. I'm pretty sure that's for higher trims, like above the LE. Up here we have these little squirty things on the hood. They squirt water or the windshield wiper fluid stuff, and right up on the windshield. I wouldn't recommend doing it at highway speeds. Just flies over the top of the car, but yes, it does have those. We're gonna hop in the inside, check out the interior. So right away we have some basic controls in here. You can control your window, passenger window, the driver's side rear passenger window, and the passenger side rear window. This button right here also has a function, but only this one, that if you just hit it real fast or pull it up real fast, it'll go all the way up or all the way down. There's the unlock. This will keep other occupants in the vehicle from being able to roll up or down their windows. This here controls the mirrors. We have the locks on the door right here. This red thing actually signifies that is unlocked. That is locked, as you can see. Well, it unlocks automatically, but were I to lock it from here, well, it would open up. But in the back and in the other parts, that would signify that it is locked and you would not be able to access it from the outside. Pretty basic and relatively sparse interior. However, it does have a power seat that can go up and down and back and forth, which is actually quite nifty, and a lot of cars in the same price range back in the day did not have this feature. They had manual adjusting seats like the passengers does with this little bar, and then you can just slide yourself back or forth. We're going to take a quick look. Here's the tachometer. It has the hot and cold stuff right there. It shows what your RPMs are right there. Shows what gear you're in right there, which is actually pretty nifty, that it's not some tiny display right over here, right over there or something. The speedometer goes up to 140 miles an hour. I think the best that we've ever had it up to is we have touched over 100. We've done about 105 before. Don't ask where, don't ask why, don't ask how. Fuel gauge there, check engine light, which we have actually unfortunately had some issues with the check engine light. It kind of like has turned on and then doesn't actually have an issue. However, you can't just turn it off. We do have a thing that will like wipe away the code or whatever, and then we check and make sure that it's for real nowadays. However, there have been some times it has been correct, but it has also been wrong and just stayed on for a super long time, which has been actually super annoying. Other stuff, here's the steering wheel, there's an airbag, this is the horn. Not gonna honk it for you guys because we do have people out there. Right here we have cruise control. Right here is the blinkers, turn signals, all that fun stuff. Over here is the wipers. Over here we have the AC vents up front as well as here, and back over there. There are none in the rear, unfortunately. Right here we have the radio, cassette, and CD player. So the CD player's here, cassette player's there. You can adjust the radio, you can set the tracks. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Another thing up here, it says right here whether or not the passenger is wearing your seatbelt, and it will flash the warning at you. Now from right here, the driver can see it quite well. However, the passenger, not as great. And from the back, you cannot see what time it is because there's also a clock up there. The basic controls here, we have the caution flashers, we have the air conditioning. You can go from anywhere from being off all the way to blasting on high. Also the next gauge, you can control the temperature. Obviously the blue is cold, red is hot. If you hit this, it engages the AC right here. This right here, actually, if you hit this button right here, when the car is on, mind you, there's these little veins right back here, and they'll actually heat up and kind of de-ice that rear glass right there, giving you visibility if there's snow or ice or something like that, which is actually quite handy. Right here you can control the positions to where the air conditioning is going to. Just your face and legs, just your legs and windshield. There's a little thing up along here that it can get power to, and then just the windshield. Passenger side also has the lock and unlock functions, and they can also roll up and down their windows. So these up here, these down right here, and then in the back right there, those are speakers. And the ones in the rear, actually this car, I'm not exactly sure where it came from. I'm pretty sure it was a warmer climate, or something about, I think they parked it out in the sun or something like that, and they would leave it out in the sun. And in the back, those speakers, if you look at them, like all that plastic covering over it just kind of like disintegrated and fell off, and we had to clean it up, clean the dust up and stuff like that. So not great. I would say try not to have it out in the sun, but it'd be very impressive if those were still intact. That, or the person had to replace them, and even then that would be impressive because now you have a new cover or new audio. Down here we have the shifter. It's covered in pretty much this rubbery stuff. You have the button that you press in order to be able to move it forward and backwards. So right here it shows park, reverse, neutral, drive, second, and low gears. Low is actually just one, by the way, if you were wondering. This is the parking brake. This is where you can store some extra cups. There's 2 cup holders right there. Some more storage in right here. There's a basic storage container. If you press on this, it'll open right up. If you press on this lower one, it will open up the main one, in which you can store even more stuff. It's a pretty deep cubby. It works pretty well. The seats front and rear are pretty comfortable. They're made out of a very durable cloth. Actually, this vehicle has around 250,000 miles. When I start it up, you guys will be able to see how many miles it has, but I think somewhere around 250,000 miles, and the interior is holding up very well and is still remarkably comfortable. Also, mind you, the interior is gray, the exterior is gray, and the wheels are gray, and it gives kind of a decent effect. Almost seems planned-ish, maybe. Also, right down here below, you can open the trunk, or you can open up the gas cap, which is right there. Back seats are pretty comfortable. I would argue that they're a little bit more comfortable than the front because you can kind of like, it's more of a laid-back approach. Pretty decent storage space. There are some sort of air conditioning vents right here, but I know that it does blow air, but just not nearly as powerful as the ones in the front do. We have this little thing that you can roll up and down your windows right here. We have some storage, some more storage down there. Not the most effective storage, but it is still storage, mind you. You can control whether or not it is locked or unlocked to the outside. I believe if you lock it and pull it. Okay, so it does work for the back. If you are in the back and it is locked, it does not open. You have to click it this way. However, the driver's seat and the front passenger seats, you can just pull it and it will unlock for you. So we're gonna hop out and we're gonna check out the trunk real quick. Here is the key. Lock, unlock, opens the trunk, and right here is the key itself, pretty generic. We're gonna hit this button and there we go. It does take a little bit of time of holding down, but it still works very well. We have this rear cargo mat right here. I'm pretty sure that's an option. I'm sure it costs some sort of money. Pretty decent storage space. We have the Toyota safety kit, optional cargo net. So down below is where you can pop the hood. So we're gonna pop the hood. Also, I forgot to mention, you do have this little cup holder right here. I'm pretty sure it's just made for change. Pretty simple mechanism to open up the front. There's like this little tab right here. You can't see it, but I'm reaching up and grabbing it with my finger. All you need to do is simply pull it upward, and then you can hoist the front. It actually has a hydraulic system to help keep the hood up, which is actually rather impressive because none of our other cars have this, and we have a 2019 Escape and that doesn't even have it. So the powertrain. This car is powered by a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated. It makes right around 140 horsepower. This car generally gets right around 27-28 miles to the gallon. However, we have seen all the way up to 32. And if you are driving in the city or in a more suburban area, you can get as low as like 23. I'm sure you could get it lower, but that's right around the lowest that we have seen it. The transmission is a 4-speed automatic. It works rather well. The engine and the transmission are well paired. Acceleration is good. Not like terrifically powerful, but it is definitely adequate. 0 to 60 when new, around 8.5 seconds. Now it's more like 9 over 9. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the part that you've all been waiting for, the cold startup. That's pretty, yeah. We did get a new catalytic converter for it. However, she's still a little bit stinky, right? The reason it was probably so like dirty-ish is because we haven't started up in a couple of days. So we got the engine, she's purring. I should probably close this so I don't cut my fingers off though. All closed up. Not the quietest car ever, but it's not like ugly loud. This car, first and foremost, is alerting me that I don't have my seatbelt on, and also it has 251,867 miles. Shh, don't tell anyone. I'm gonna rev it just a little bit. Anyway, I gotta turn it off, and before I get in trouble, prices for this car when new were around $20,000. This car is right now 17 years old, so it's getting a little bit old, I would say. It's older than I am, so I would consider that old. The car right now, I would probably pay like $2,500 for the car, but I bet you there are some examples out there worth over $3,000 because it is a Camry. They're known for the reliability and for how long they last. So yeah, $2,500, $3,000 is what I would expect. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button for me. And just like that, I hope to see you guys next time. To the overeager bird who pooped on our Camry. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Like, I have to clean this thing off now.